Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge number 6. I am your host until the end of this week, and for the past 2 weeks, we have been working on a poster series. And today, I would like to ask you to use your creativity and, your today's design to create something for the Black community. Since the unfortunate death of George Floyd, there have been a lot of things happening online and also offline. So we would like, as the Adobe community, to help you find ways to support the Black community. So I'm going to share with you a link where you can find the different resources, the different ways to donate to support the Black community in those times where we're standing up together and fighting for justice. And so today's challenge is going to have to do with a message that we kind of want to create, and feel free to adapt this design to your own message that you want to create. I would recommend to you to follow Black activists to really find and amplify the voice that they're already kind of having, so that you can definitely find the right message to put into your design. All right, so let's jump right into it. I'm sorry we have to start on this note, but we think it's very important to kind of address these things. All right, so today's challenge is going to be the overlay effect. This is our site, the Daily Creative Challenge site. It's behance.net/challenge/illustrator. This is where you will find all the things you need to know about the Daily Creative Challenge. So here you will find the overlay effect, and you can rewatch the video, which is this video, and you can also get started. And there you will also find the starter file that I'm going to be jumping right into. So this is how your starter file should look like for today. And so with the overlay effects, we kind of want to create, effects that kind of make our poster more interesting, more exciting to look at, and that can also help, guide our eye through the layout. So let's take a look what we can do. So first, what I would like to do is I would like to go closer in here into our layout, and I have prepared for you this mock-up already. So all these objects you can feel free to move. You can also adjust the colors here inside the panels at the bottom and at the top. And then of course feel free to, whenever you post the challenge, to use the hashtag AI Daily Challenge, so that you will be able to use on Instagram or on Behance. And of course you can put in your name here on the poster, so I'm going to do that for myself. My last name is Masalska and my first name is Julia. All right, and there we go. So here I already kind of put in my name. And here I'm going to insert my project name and description. Just, put whatever you like. Overlay effects. And of course you can use this poster for other things as well. Feel free to use it. It's a royalty free. I have designed this, so I am allowing you, I'm giving you the rights to use this design to create amazing stuff. And that's also hopefully helpful for our communities. All right, overlay effects, creating overlay effects in Illustrator. There we go. Okay, now since we already kind of filled out the poster, let's get right into it. And to kind of secure all the objects that are already on the poster, I want to select them all and click Command and 2, which locks them all. As you can see, I cannot select the objects anymore. If you want to still edit make some changes, you can go on to Option Command and 2, and then you unlock all the objects. But I want to keep them locked for now, so Command and 2 for locking them. All right. So now I would like to use the type tool to create some kind of basis for our design. So I'm going to use the black lives matter message. And you can of course feel free to you know, to insert whatever you think is important to say out loud, and whatever messages, whatever voices you know, are important to amplify. So so let's say I want to pick a typeface here. I can definitely go and check out typefaces in our on our font page. So it's fonts.adobe.com. There you will find a ton of different typefaces that you can use for free in your designs. So I'm gonna go ahead and click browse fonts, and here I will already find, you know, on the left side you will find all the different options you can look for. So let's say I want to use a sans serif, and I want to use a bold typeface, and I want it to be very wide, and here you can also adjust the contrast. Oh yeah, this is the width actually, so we're gonna go for something similar to this. So let's see, I want to create like a poster like you know, design that kind of is really easy to read from far. So I might go for active grotesque. As you can see, I already activated this, but you can click right into here and you will see the whole font family. And you can also feel free to activate just one typeface. So all you have to do is just click this little button here, and the typeface will be already available in your Illustrator. Okay, so I'm going to go for active grotesque. And here you can see I have the whole font family. I think it's a really great font family to use for poster designs, because it's just very bold and it's very you know, easy to read. Okay, so now since I just have, you know, created a very large typeface, but it doesn't actually matter what typeface size you have right now, because I'm going to outline those letters. And I'm going to click Command Shift and O. So now what I do have here is not a changeable typeface anymore. It's just objects that I can, you know, feel free to you know, move around and do whatever I like with them. So this is where you can also get into modifying a typeface and creating your own custom typeface. But that's not important for now, because we wanted to have it nice and legible, and I'm going to make it nice and big. And what we want to do is, today we want to work with overlay effects and to see what, you know, what we can do with overlays. So what I would like to do first, I would like to create some shapes that I might use, you know, in my design. And I'm going to make this one white, just a rectangle shape. And then I'm going to make it maybe semi-transparent. So now what I want to do is I want to create a little blurriness in here. So for that, I will go onto Effect, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And as you can see, I can already see that there is some kind of blur happening here inside the object. So let me decrease the opacity, and yeah, that doesn't really do anything right now to my typeface. But let's take a look what else we can do here. Let's go on to effects. Let's see what we can do. Let's take a look actually on window and transparency, and let's see what we can do here in our transparencies. Color dodge, that does not really change anything. Exclusion, now that's interesting. So the exclusion basically it turns the colors around completely, so it creates the opposite of the color that we actually have here. So the blur effect kind of gives this, you know, this transition here, and we already have this cool effect that we can play with. We can also move around this rectangle and see what exactly you want to use this for, and you can of course play around with this as you like, you know, to kind of make it look interesting. And I love the blurry effect because it kind of gives three-dimensionality. And what you can also do with the blur effect is you can blur out the background. So let's take a look how this could look like. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just going to copy this artboard, and I'm going to create a variation of my design. So for that, right now, since I have move artwork without board unclicked, I will just copy the artboard. But I want to copy the whole design, so I want to click move artwork with artboard, and I'm going to hold Option and Shift and click and drag my design. Okay, I have locked objects here. That's why not my whole design was transferred. So I want to unlock my objects with Option, Command, and 2. And now I want to go ahead to the artboard tool again, and I want to do the same thing like I did before. Just now all the pieces of my artwork are unlocked. So when I copy them, they will all be copied. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to hold Option, Shift, I'm going to hold Option, click Shift. So Shift helps you to basically transfer the object on the direct line, on the straight line. It can be either horizontal or vertical. So that depends on where you start pulling the object to. So right, now I have a copy of my whole design, including the artboard. As you can see, we have artboard 2 and artboard 2 copy. All right, so now we want to create a nice, interesting background here. Let's pull these two objects by side for now. And what I want to do is I want to lock my objects again here in the background so I don't mess around with them. And I want to click Command and 2 for that. So now again, my objects are locked. So what I want to do now, I'm trying to understand why this is, okay, I see. All right, this looks different here on this background because there is no white. So this effect is very interesting how it acts sometimes. All right, nonetheless, let's try an experiment with our background. So what I want to do is I want to create a rectangle with my rectangle tool. And here, let's try and, try and add some, let's use the slice tool, and no, let's actually use the knife tool, the tool that we've learned yesterday. And we're going to just, slice up this object just a little bit, make it interesting here. And with the knife tool, you only cut the object that's selected. So since I have only selected my rectangle, only my rectangle gets, cut with a knife tool. So what I want to do now is I want to, I have now separate pieces of this rectangle. What I want to do now is I just want to create different colors in here. So I want to create a good contrast, a good amount of contrast. So I'm going to use the same color in every second, stripe. So I want to select those other stripes, and I want to use the eyedropper tool. The command for that is I. So I'm just going to copy the color into my other parts. And now these two I will just leave like this. So now I have this wonderful, group of objects that I would like to kind of, make a little bit more abstract and put them more into the background. So what I want to do is I want to group them, Command and G. And now I'm going back to Effect, and I'm going back to my Gaussian blur. And now, as you can see, this kind of can be really, really, disappearing in the background. And this background that's actually looking very dominant and very contrasty can really become not that, not that relevant anymore in my object hierarchy. So now when I zoom out, I will see that this color is kind of really blurry. So, and the blurriness, of course, you can set yourself like I just did. And if you want to edit the blurriness afterwards, you can click right here on Gaussian blur and still kind of, edit the blurriness. But I would stick to maybe like 8.5, something like this. Of course, you can also do that with different colors, and you can definitely go a little bit more complex here and, make some really cool gradients with this tool. Okay, so now I want to decrease the opacity a little bit just because it's a little dark for me. Or actually, maybe I just leave it like that. Let's see what our two other objects will do here on top of this. So I'm just going to arrange them, bring to front. And now look how cool this looks. This is really, really interesting what comes out here. And now what I can also do is I can take these two objects and I can also divide them. So now I have this interesting effect going on here. And now I can go into detail and I can, you know, adjust the different letters and I can adjust their colors. So let's say, so since it's not very well legible here, I want to, you know, take all the dark letters or all the dark parts and make them lighter. So so let's see what happens if I do that. Okay. Is this better legible? Probably, but I'm still missing these parts here. So let me select those as well. And I'm going to make them white. You still want to keep it nice and legible. So see how interesting this already looks. And those are all overlay effects and things you can do with overlay effects. So this is real fun. And I personally like this simpler version better, but feel free to experiment with the Gaussian blur and transparencies. Let's see what else we can do with the transparencies. So I'm selecting my rectangle again, and I'm gonna go here onto my window and transparency. Oops, I just deselected it. It was already there waiting for me, but I didn't see it. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. Actually, let's see. Darken does not really work for us. Multiply. Well, this is a little too complex, so I'm just gonna stick to what I had before. I think this is really nice, legible, and so what I want to do now is I have my designs kind of ready. You guys, of course, feel free to experiment however you want, but for me, this is done. Oh, by the way, if you have an object, let's say I have a circle here. Let's say the circle is also kind of like this part here, and it's also blurred. Let's say it's Gaussian blur, and we have this object kind of sticking out of the poster. So of course we want to, oh, by the way, this looks really cool right here where the hashtag kind of starts. So what we want to do is, of course, we want to keep all the objects inside the poster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a mask for this object. If you have multiple objects, I recommend pulling a huge rectangle all around the poster. I'm just gonna do this right now, but the only object that's actually looking out for me is the circle, so I could actually just have made a small rectangle around this, but now I'm just gonna do this, and I'm going to right click, select both objects and click make clipping mask. And now my object kind of has this little border that doesn't let us go beyond the design. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to export my file and I want to put it into my community chat, into my Discord chat. This is where we kind of exchange information, but I'm gonna show you that in a little bit. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to export for screens, because exporting for screens gives me the perfect the perfect way to kind of to export the artboards that I have in the best possible quality that's also loading really quickly, because we want to preview something really quick. And when you export large files and then you want to view them on the website and they don't load because the internet might be slow for somebody, not everybody has good internet. So so for that you want to really stick to the optimal exporting size. All right, so what I want to do is now you can also select if you don't want to export both the artworks, but I want to export both of them. So I'm clicking export artboard. Of course, I already have artboard 2, but I just want to replace them. That's fine. So now I have my artwork already in my Creative Cloud folder, which I have automatically here for some reason. I guess it makes it really easy to use. So now what I want to do is I want to select these two designs and I want to put them into the Discord channel where we kind of give each other the feedback. So to get to the Discord channel, you can use this link right here. It's bit.ly/AI Discord. This is where we have our big design community, and this is where we're sharing tips and tricks with each other, and this is where you can share your daily creative challenge. So let's jump into this real quick. So let's look how this looks. This is the link that I was just telling you, and it's also linked on our Behance page with the challenges. So there you will definitely not miss it if you go into the challenge tab. All right, so here we have the challenge hashtag, where everybody, as you can see, posts their wonderful artwork, and we're all learning. As you can see, it's not all perfect, but it's really exciting to kind of experiment with tools and learn something new every day. So also feel free to participate in the past challenges. You will find them here. Let me go back. You will find the past challenges if you go onto the Daily Creative Challenge page, behance.net/challenge/illustrator, and if you just keep scrolling past the current challenges, you will see that there you can explore the past challenges. So feel free to, if you want to learn new tools, just watch those videos and get the starter files. Just, make yourself your own little creative challenge. Okay, and so here we want to post our artwork for review. So what I want to do is I want to click this little plus sign, and here I will be able to select my artwork that I want to post, and now our artwork is perfectly exported for our chat. So I'm going to put 2 of my posters in here, and I'm going to click choose challenge of today. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna click upload, and there they are. There's my artwork. And here we can view them. We can give each other feedback by adding a reaction here. We can also just write something nice and, see how we can motivate each other to create something nice every single day. All right, guys, so this is something that I really think is really, really, valuable for you to kind of create your own routine of experimenting and learning new tools. And I would really appreciate you guys if you would, use the next challenges to kind of to get out the word for the Black community. And we all stand together, and we want to support each other in these times. So I would really love to see some of your designs and some of the voices that you're amplifying from the Black community. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, and make sure to submit your challenges. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.